Hello, my name is Callie, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about cosplay and race and being a girl and all that cool stuff. So, for New York Comic Con, I cosplayed as three characters. I was Connie from Steven Universe from Sworn to the Sword. I was Jubilee, but I was Jubilee from the Apocalypse trailer. And I was Star Butterfly from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Now, it was kind of like not my first cosplay. I My very first cosplay was Misa from Death Note, and then I was also a Vocaloid a couple years back, like a very long time ago. But I was really nervous about doing these cosplays, especially for Star Butterfly, mainly because Star Butterfly is a blonde, and I am not a blonde. And most of the time, when people see a black girl with a blonde wig, they are met with not so great comments. So, I it was really stressful for me to kind of find like the right wig because I was like, I know if I do this wrong, I'm gonna be met with like a lot of negative backlash. Fortunately for me, I wasn't because like pretty much on Tumblr, I got like a lot of like great feedback. A lot of people took my picture, and one of the most like flattering things, like a lot of people were excited that I was like African American and I was Star, because most of the time when I see black girls cosplaying as like traditionally blonde characters, they either change the way the character looks or they are not met with like great feedback. But one of the examples I can think about is like Julia from Lollipop Chainsaw. There's like a really popular cosplay version of her where it's a black girl, but she's like chocolate chainsaw or something like that. And I think that's cool, but I think it's a cool interpretation of the character. But I've always wanted to cosplay as that character, and of course, like the whole fact that the character is blonde has always been kind of like a pushback for me because I don't want to look like, as people will say, like ghetto or ratchet because I'm walking around with like a blonde wig on. So that was really stressful. But I noticed that a lot in cosplay when there's like a blonde character. A lot of African American girls either like reinterpret the character or they don't cosplay as often as that character. And I think it's kind of like unfair because one of the things with cosplay being a girl, there are so many obstacles that you're going to be met with regardless. Like if you're going to cosplay as like a certain superhero, you better make sure you know a lot about that superhero, or else people are going to like drag you through the dirt and claim that you're not a real fan. But on the other hand, if you also happen to be like black, people are going to assume that you don't know anything about comics, especially if you're a girl, and anything that you do is going to be dubbed as like ratchet or ghetto or have some kind of like racial stereotype applied to it, which we saw that a lot during Halloween. There were these group of girls who were dressed up like Dragon Ball Z characters, and of course, lots of people were like, "Oh, they look great," but that was that one person who had to ruin it and apply all these like negative stereotypes, like saying that they were like trying to get their like what is it, child support, and they gave them all these like ghetto names, and there was no point in doing that other than to just be mean. And like I said, it's one thing if you're a girl, people aren't going to think you know the characters. But it's another thing if you happen to be like black, they're going to apply like a racial stereotype to you that it's just going to pretty much make you feel like crap after all your efforts of having a great costume. And then there's like another one of these group of girls who were dressed up like the Ninja Turtles. And of course, the costume was very like differently interpreted, which is fine. But like I said, when you're a girl, if you do like a sexy cosplay, people are going to be like, oh, you don't know the character. So that was one thing that they already had to face. But they also had to deal with the whole, oh, we're going to take the Ninja Turtle names and make them into stereotypical ghetto black names because you guys are black women and this would be funny. Which it wasn't. And I even heard a lot of like my friends say, oh, those ratchet Ninja Turtles. And I'm like, why do they have to be ratchet? They're beautiful. They dress up as like a really cool character. I was a Ninja Turtle for Halloween. I thought it was awesome. I never would thought that I would see like a group of black female Ninja Turtles, but of course, can't even enjoy it because someone had to make it into a really rude joke. Like I said, that happens a lot. There's even like two people who dress up like Jesse and James, and lo and behold, it took 5 seconds for it to become a meme and then to be made like the butt of a joke. So that's like one of the reasons why I was like really super nervous about my Star Butterfly cosplay. I was like, everything has to be perfect. Like I can't have my dress can't look bad, my wig definitely can't look bad, my makeup can't look bad because if I do, I'm going to be seen on the internet as a joke, and I don't want that. I just want to have fun and dress up like my favorite character. And like I said, everything turned out well, but along with like the stigma of like being a girl cosplayer and being a black cosplayer, there's a lot of colorism, which I kind of have to like realize that the reason why I probably wasn't made a joke out of was because I'm not dark skinned. And if I would have been dark skinned and in a blonde wig, people would have torn me apart. I probably wouldn't have got the same attention that I would normally get. And when you look at a lot of the black female cosplayers, they are either very light skinned or very light brown. They also tend to have like, very round faces or like big like anime eyes. And those are the ones that seem to get the most attention from like, I guess it's fair to say like the cosplay community that isn't like exclusively people of color or like black. Like black people are, black women are going to uplift each other regardless. But if it's like the community as a whole, they're kind of going to focus more on like the girls who have the more like the anime look, and they are going to be the ones who get like the most attention for their cosplay, which kind of sucks. Like I haven't yet to see a Star Butterfly that was darker skin. I've only seen maybe 3, including myself, black Star Butterflies. But even like most of the black cosplayers, like I said, they have this kind of look to them that seems to be favored in the community because it's closer to like anime characters, I guess. It's really weird, but I would love to say, like, because I didn't get the negative backlash that I was expecting, that there's a lot of acceptance in the community. But I don't think it's fair to say that they're not an accepting community. I think it's a community that favors certain looks over others. And that's part of the reason why you get like a group of like dark skinned girls dressed up like Ninja Turtles in an overly sexy way. They're labeled as like ghetto or ratchet. And I think it's sad, but at the same time, there's still so much room for growth that I know that people can like, get above, but I don't really know what the future for that is. I guess it's just more like encouraging others to cosplay as characters that they want to, whether it's their own interpretation of the character or the character verbatim, whether it's, blonde character like Star or Sailor Moon. You shouldn't be afraid to take that risk because of your skin color. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the topic.